Yesterday was a clear feedback that I'm not a natural runner, but I need quite a lot of training to perform. I was attending in Ultra Balaton, which is a ultra running race around Lake Balaton, about 210 kilometers. No, I was not doing this alone. I was in part of a relay team. I run only 5 miles in a tempo about 7 minutes per mile, which is not very bad for my age group, but it's still not competitor level or competition level. And my biggest fear was that this year I only had like 3 or 4 runnings per week and no other additional trainings. And it proved to be quite minimal, and I suffered a lot. I had a heart rate of around 170, which is quite high, and I just found my last year's performance when I was still preparing for the Quadrathlon World Cup, and it was just before I finished racing. So I had like 10-12 hours training per week. And last year I ran 25 kilometers, which is about 15 miles or so, with the same speed and lower heart rate. And my VO2 max was like 4 points higher at least. And this year I ran only 5 miles with the same speed with higher heart rate. And that shows that running is something you can do naturally, but training decides the results so much than I thought. I thought because I ran almost the same amount as last year, but last year I did kayaking, cycling, swimming quite a lot, so the hours spent in zone 2 was much higher, and also I had a stronger core because today I had a muscle fever in my core everywhere, so I was clearly not prepared for this kind of challenge, especially that I have to run another 2 miles because one of my teammates were too tired, and I also run with the same speed, but I was very exhausted. It shouldn't happen. So today is the day when I decide to start training more again because I cannot be old at age 50 that I cannot run like a 7 minute mile for at least a half marathon or maybe even longer because only 1 year ago that was easily done. Even in the autumn when I already stopped racing, I ran this 1.5, little bit over 1.5 hour for a half marathon in the forest. So that should be a minimum level. And also, what I wanted to mention is that since I'm quite aware of my sleeping in recent 2 or 3 years, I just had the same issue as I usually have before any races, that I sleep very badly. I'm too excited. I need to wake up early. I usually wake up naturally. I don't use any kind of equipment or clock to do it, or so I had to set my Garmin to wake me up in time, and I could sleep only like 5 hours. But the thing is that happened to me quite a lot of time during racing because in the World Cup racing I was traveling a lot to the race, so sometimes I slept in my camping car, and what I know now, at what science is also proved, that performance for is not really limited by one day of bad sleep, but limited by if your sleep is scattered or bad for weeks. Because one day is bad for your attention, but because of the excitement of the race, because of the oversympathetic tone, your body will move just rightly. So you shouldn't be too stressed about a bad sleeping before before an event, but you have to be sure that you will get enough good sleep before the race, so you don't overtrain, don't overeat, don't eat the, like we use carb upload, but don't eat the pasta at 9 p.m. just before going to bed and hoping that it will be okay till the next morning, because it will just ruin your sleep. And also one more tip is that if you had a bad sleep before the race, uh, if the start is not too early, just try to spend half an hour or 1 hour in a kind of meditating phase, just lying down, close your eyes, and try to visualize the race as much. So for quadrathlon, we had like 3 transitions and 4 different disciplines. And what I did many times is that I was laying in the just until the last minutes, I was lying in my bed in my camping car, and especially for sprint races, which were only like 1.5 hours, I did a visualizing meditation practice for half an hour or even longer, just to go through. I'm standing at the beginning of the course. I'm looking at the water. The water is safe. I will be very relaxed. So I imagined jumping into the water, and then imagine started swimming, and imagined how the water is going inside my neoprene and will cool my body, because I standed in front of the sun before the start, so my body is overheated and now it's cooling down, and my breath became normalized. And how will I go further? And I did the same for the running. It seems like obvious because you just run it. It doesn't easy, but I imagine that uh, I start running, and I try to not go too fast at the beginning, because at the beginning it's very easy to go with the 4 minute kilometers, like around close to 6 minute miles, but you will lose your breath and your heart rate will go up. So I imagine that, okay, this is the beginning of the running. Okay, you slow down. It's your heart is still slow, but you will be okay. And then when you reach the first slope, you try to adjust your speed according to your heart rate. And I usually take care of my cadence, so my steps are about the same, even if I go run uphill or downhill, because that helps to keep my rhythm for the whole course, and I don't get like too slow or too quick running downhill, but I have like a similar pace cadence uh, for my running. And this practice also helps me to reduce the problems with the fatigue, that I didn't sleep enough, because this resting period, it calms your brain and your nervous system a little bit, and it can substitute some of the sleep loss. And because your because after a race your HRV will drop, because you are exhausted and you are tired. It's very important that you have a very good and structured sleep the next evening. So it means that you eat just after the race enough carbs, enough protein to reduce any inflammation or any issues. So today, because I was eating a big hamburger with a lots of meat and enough protein, I reduced. I know it's not healthy for many reasons, but it still can help reduce my inflammation for my muscle soreness. And today I don't even have like a slight issue with my muscles. I'm tired. Yes, my sleep was not perfect, but it was quite good. Like sleeping score was above 80. My HRV was a little bit lower because I'm tired. And today I have nothing else, but I have to go for like 1 hour, 2 hours mountain biking, slow pace. So I give my muscles a little bit of time to get better. So my blood flowing, my blood sugar will change over the course of this 2 hours cycling, but I will not push it. And after that, I will eat lots of protein, some carbohydrates, because I will not push it. I don't need that much of carbohydrates, but this protein will build up in my muscles and will help to remove all the fatigue. So tomorrow I can start like my normal training. Probably I will go a little bit harder for the next couple of weeks because the heat is coming and I have to reduce my running, and I will try to introduce more of the cycling, more of the rock climbing or mountain, and hike and fly with a paraglider, and also the SUP, the stand-up paddling in the Danube. I can do it in the evening when it's shadowy and not that hot. So I try to introduce more training again to my life, because it seems that a few hours, even if I walk like 15,000 steps a day, it's not enough to keep your stamina. And I, for somehow I believe that my view to Max, and even science shows this, it's important to keep as high as possible, because that makes me young, that makes me competitive, that makes my brain work properly. So the key takeaway is don't be afraid of bad sleep before a race. Try to visualize and try to uh, focus your rest before the race. So don't run up and down, just try to visualize your race and meditate a little bit, and eat enough protein after the race, and try to sleep well. And next day try to do a very light training. Don't just sit at home, because that will be not good for your muscles, because the blood flow is very low if you are sitting, and it's much easier to to help your muscle with a little bit of walking, cycling, even a very slow running could help. I don't do it because of my joints are not that strong now. So, but cycling is also very good. Okay, have a nice day, and if you are racing in the next few weeks, please try these little tricks, and maybe your race will be much enjoyable.